Hello everyone, this is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another video. In this update, we're going to talk about the major winter storm that's going to be impacting Colorado through the plains and eventually the Northeast from Saturday through Tuesday. So before we do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload about 5 videos a week to keep you updated. All right, so let's get started. So here's a current overall watches and warnings map. This is Saturday when I'm recording this video. We've got winter storm warnings in Colorado, winter storm watches in Kansas, into Missouri, and into Illinois. And this will eventually swing through the plains and the Northeast. So if we kind of zoom into Colorado where everything's going on right now, this is the origination of this storm. We've got 1 to 3 feet that will be impacting Colorado over the next day or two up in the mountains, but then still a good solid 5 inches in Boulder and two inches in Fort Collins and Denver, and a good 4 inches in Colorado Springs as this swings east. So here's the current satellite picture of the current Euro model, and I'm breaking this down every 6 hours for you. So it kind of gives you, this is what I feel like has been the best overall grasp of the storm over the last 2 days, showing that major winter event just taking shape into Colorado and eventually into Kansas. So if we take it out another frame, this is Sunday afternoon now, where it's showing heavy snow into Kansas and Missouri and eventually into Illinois. I know the Chiefs game is going to be a pretty good 100% chance of snow, so that's going to be a fun game to watch. But as on the south side of that, there's going to be a convergence zone in the middle where we're going to have an ice storm develop. And then on that southwest side, we're going to have some rain. So, and as this will swing up, we look at the current temperatures. We're going to be in widespread 20. So all that will freeze on contact when it hits the ground. And if we take it out another frame, you can see that swath again extending into Kansas and much of Illinois now, and into Indiana and Ohio. But on the south side, we've got that line where we've got some ice on the south side and then rain underneath. We might get a little snow in Amarillo, but I'm not too confident about that. If we take a look at the temperatures, yes, we got widespread 20. So all that snow will freeze, and it's not going to be melting in 20-degree air. But if we take it out another frame, so I'm kind of slowing this down for you because this is a positive tilted trough. It's going to be having a warm sector trying to feed warm air in on the undercutting the storm, but cold air will be penetrating the storm. So you got snow on the northern side of Illinois and Indiana and Ohio, but just that small sector. It looks like there's going to be a warm sector in that positive tilted trough, and it's going to be that demarcation zone is very hard to predict, but on the southwest side of Pennsylvania, possibly Pittsburgh, will be kind of in the drier slot, getting that positive tilted warmer air filtering into the storm as this swings across. If we take a look at the temperatures, you can kind of see it starts to feed in. We start to get some of those temperatures starting to warm up, and this will swing in, and we got widespread 20s on the north side, but that warmer air is just trying to sneak into the storm. And if we take a look at the current satellite picture, if we take it out another frame, snow on the backside, it's got that warm sector moving in, snow on the top side, but a major ice storm is going to be starting to develop because there's cold air running out ahead of it, sinking to the surface, and that will be at the surface, and then you have that warm air going aloft. So as the snow falls, it'll melt and then freeze on contact. So there's going to be a major ice storm setting up in parts of Pennsylvania. So I'll show you the map on the ice at the end of the video. But you can see the temperatures. You can if you kind of zoom in here, you can see where the snow fell in the lower 20s into Kansas and Missouri. But we're starting to get that warmer sector moving in and starting to get some middle 30s and like Pittsburgh area, but 20s on the back side. So there's going to be a steep gradient where we're going to have a major ice storm going on, but then a rain event, and then snow on the north side, and then on the back side, we'll have more snow. So this is a very complicated setup system as this moves across the Northeast. And we've kind of zoom in, you can see that heavy snow on the backside where that cold air, and it all depends on the speed of this cold air. And I kind of waited for the newest update on this Euro model, and it's actually sped up some. So this cold air travels a lot faster with what the models can pick up. So it's showing more snow on the backside and more ice. So this still could change and elevate some of these snow amounts as well as the ice amounts and have less rain because of the speed of the cold air. But as this swings up, it'll dump more snow into Pennsylvania, and you can see the temperatures all 20s and 30s. So all this will freeze. And then again, where that warm sector is moving in, 34 degrees and parts of Pittsburgh, and this will be into Monday afternoon. And you can kind of see this major ice event starting to take shape Monday night, potentially in parts of Pennsylvania and much of the Northeast, where like I said, we're going to have that cold air already synced out ahead of the surface, that warm, positively tilted trough moving in, snowing on the top side, but as it falls, it'll melt, but then refreeze at the surface, setting up a really possibly bad ice storm into Pennsylvania, especially on eastern Pennsylvania and the south side. But you can see widespread 30s, so all that will be freezing on contact. And if we take it out another frame, again, shows more rain on the south side of that system and then more snow. So this will be a major winter storm that's going to be developing into the Northeast. And you can see again, widespread 20s, and where that snowpack is fall, now we're dropping in the teens at night into Kansas and Missouri. If we take it out another frame, so as this actually speeds up, now this will be Tuesday afternoon now, like noontime. So it'll transition to an all snow event and parts of like Pittsburgh and Ohio, and on the north side where you're going to get kind of a combination 1-2 punch of a lake effect snow event and that convergence zone. So you're going to have heavier amounts in parts of like Syracuse and Buffalo, where you're going to be getting anywhere from 6, 8 to 10 inches of snow, of all snow on the northern side. If we take a look at the temperatures, you can see where it's going to be all snow because it's going to be widespread 20s. And again, where that warm sector is, now that warmer sector will be sneaking on the west side of Pennsylvania. But again, it's only a matter of time where that cold air just overtakes it and it'll be transitioning to all snow. And you can kind of see that as we spin this off to the, up into northern New England and parts of Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and Vermont, and New Hampshire. This will be an all snow event for you guys up there. And you can see widespread 20s. So all this will be widespread 20s by then, as this cold air is really sunk in. We won't have to be worrying about a warm air aloft, but at this time, much of the precipitation is going to be gone by now on the south side. If we take it out another frame, it shows, an all snow event as this kind of winds down on Tuesday night as it swings off into the Northeast. We kind of zoom into the overall snow amounts where it's kind of picking up, and this is the current Euro model, and I'm kind of zooming in, picking up that heavier snow up in the mountains, those 4 to 6 inch mountains in Colorado. But as this swings across, we're coming in at possibly 6 to 8 inches in the Kansas City, Missouri area. Will be 100% chance of snow, but we're going to be a little bit of an ice storm, but the major ice storm is going to be in the Northeast. But there's going to be a pocket of good solid 4 to 6 inches of snow. And in the middle, again, 6 to 8 inches of snow between Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. You're finally going to get some snow in Ohio, through the Ohio Valley. If we swing this off to the Northeast, we've got that. You can see this warm sector coming in potentially. And this has been showing the last 4 or 5 runs. So as this warm sector kicks in, there's going to be just a small gradient where you might not see a kind of a drier slot. But on the other side of that, you've got a really heavy lake effect snow band setting up, and we're going to have that convergence zone. But on the south side, you got a major ice storm developing in the central and eastern parts of Pennsylvania. If we zoom into that, and you can kind of see, this is the latest Euro model, and this is even elevated even further, where it was showing, quarter inch, half inch. Now there's pockets of 1 inch thick ice. So we could be setting up for a major ice event, and you can see this warm sector. So there's going to be a small gradient here that really depends on the speed of this colder air. So don't set this area in stone that this is all going to be dry. So this could easily speed up, and this could all transition into ice or snow, even in western Pennsylvania. But this is pretty much evident because this on the central part and the southern part of Pennsylvania, this has been showing these amounts and even increased over the last couple runs. So be prepared for a setup of a major ice event up into western and southern Pennsylvania and eventually into the Northeast. If we kind of zoom into the ice event in the Central Plains, it's not nearly as much on the south side of Missouri. So, but you're still going to be dealing with the colder air. Now, here's the latest prediction from the National Weather Center showing the snowfall of, again, showing 1 to 3 feet up in the mountains. It'll transition and swing up a good swath of 4 to 6 inches of snow, parts of 6 to 8 inches between Kansas and Illinois, and then by the lake, a heavier snow amounts because you're going to have a 1-2 punch of a lake effect and more snow coming up on the south side. But the real story behind this, whatever falls between ice and snow, by Thursday morning, we've got an Arctic front that's really going to be diving in. So in the combination of the snow on the ground, this stuff is not melting anywhere because we're having single digits in Illinois and Ohio, and even below zero in parts of Pennsylvania and upstate New York and Connecticut and Vermont and New Hampshire. So whatever falls on the surface of freezing rain and snow is definitely not going to be melting anytime soon this week, as we've got Arctic air filtering in on the backside and only deepening and getting colder with that snowpack on the ground. So that'll kind of give you an idea of how I think this major winter storm is going to play out between Saturday and Tuesday. I appreciate you guys staying with me, and be sure to like this video. And I appreciate you guys watching, and share with you guys anybody that loves weather-related content on social media, and subscribe to my channel, and stay with me at the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.